Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to Into the Core podcast with myself, Linda. I am so excited. Today is a brand new day. It's all about living on your best life, wearing the best glasses, and creating the look, the mood, the feel, and just have the power to take over the world. Today, we're going to be talking to Arifa Kanji. She is so amazing. She is somebody after my own heart. I'm so excited. So before we get into it, let's get into the core.
Into the core.
Get into it.
All good things in Africa and beyond. Into the core.
Into the core.
Into the core.
Into the core.
Into the core. All good things in Africa and beyond.
That's right. It's about all good things in Africa and beyond. And today, our conversation is powered by Sunshot Factory. They're based right here in Nairobi, and I'm so excited to be speaking with you, Arifa. Welcome to Into the Core.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. Are you sitting in your studio? You are.
So I'm actually in the Urban Tourist test room at the moment because
Oh,
I'm on a
okay.
trip, so that's my office.
I love it. So tell me, so you are the founder of Urban Tortoise, which I absolutely love. I feel like you have such a bespoke store. Tell me how you got to become an optometrist and your journey into building and creating Urban Tortoise, and what was the differentiation from the other ones? It's a loaded question, but yeah.
So I'm going to start way back. That's fine. So optometry was basically something I had to kind of figure out that I wanted to do from right after school, so like after A levels. I actually wanted to go into law, and then I went for like an internship, and I was bored out of my mind. Like I just could not do it. I think it was like too much theory. Then I was like, okay, fine. So that's not going to work. So I kind of didn't want to do optometry because my dad was telling me to do optometry, and you don't want to do the stuff your parents tell you to do, right?
Yes.
So I was like, okay, putting his views aside, I kind of had to think of something that like merged my love for science and also trying to do things like hands-on. I'm not a very like theoretical person. I don't really like reading too much. I like to know what to do and then do it with my hands. So that's how I kind of got into optometry. So I applied to the UK. So I ended up at Cardiff University in Wales. I was there for 4 years, and that's how I did my course. And then there's like an intern working period where you do some exams to qualify to work in the UK. So at that time, my plan was to live in the UK. So I did the fifth year after that was kind of doing your exams and working at the same time, which was the hardest year of my life because you're literally working a 9-to-5 job and you have exams as well. So you're coming back home exhausted and then you need to like study. So it was really hard, but we got through it. And literally that must have been like 2014, which is also the year I got married. My husband is also from Kenya, but he was in the UK.
Okay.
So we kind of came to Nairobi to get married, and then the plan was to go back to London. So that happened, and then literally we got back to London. I started a new job as an optometrist, and he was working as well. And 3 months in, he's like, "Oh, I got a job offer in Nairobi." And I was like, "Oh, that's weird, considering the fact that you didn't apply." And he was like, "No, actually, just apply for fun, kind of thing." Yeah. And then we were so confused because we literally just started life in London, and we have a lot of like our friends and family there as well. So we literally made this like pros and cons list of like, okay, do we go back? What do we do? And I mean, I was only happy for half the year in the UK when it was sunny, which was not even half to do that. It's like quarter. So I was like, okay, fine, let's go back home. I need the sun. And I mean, it was a really good decision to move back.
Yeah. And moving back, so he already had his job here. And so when you were coming back, were you just like, okay, so I'm also gonna apply for a job, or was it like an intention of yours to see how you could get into the business? Because now you've already had the experience of working as an optometrist, and what was that? What was the transition
I
like?
was trying to contact people I knew in Nairobi who do optometry just to figure out like what the scope is like. Is there like job opportunities, stuff like that? And there was like big promise, to be fair. Like someone was like, "Oh, come back, we'll do this together," kind of thing. But when I actually got here, like for the first month, I was like, "Yeah, I'm chilling. It's like I'm on holiday." You know, like when you're in uni for a while and you come back home, it kind of feels like you're on holiday. And then I'm like, okay, hang on, I'm living here now. I need to actually find something to do. So yeah, so then I was like, okay, I don't really know the optometry space in Nairobi. So I applied for jobs, and then I got a job, and I actually worked with that practice for 1.5, almost 2 years actually.
Okay.
And I think coming from the UK gave me this like different perspective of optometry and eyewear and fashion. And it felt really different to kind of what was here. Like over here, like an opticians just felt like, you know, very like medical and kind of boring, you know, like very, okay, you know, the key, and then they open it, and then like, you know, so it just, so the whole time I was here, I was kind of feeling like, like as in, why do they have such gorgeous, beautiful shops in the UK, and like I don't see that here. Like, so I saw that gap in the market, and I also saw how there was this need to kind of get people in the shop, buy their glasses, and move on to the next person. I didn't feel like it was very personalized. So yeah, I think everyone has a completely different style, and you need glasses to see, but you can also, you know, choose something that matches your character and your personality. So that was also where I felt like there was a gap. And then, you know, sometimes working for someone, at some point it just gets a bit monotonous, especially if you have like ideas and you want to do stuff and you can't do it because it's not yours, right? Yeah. So I felt that like frustration kind of like creeping in, and I was like, at some point I didn't even know, now, do I still want to do optometry? I remember I was also trying to figure out why I can't find really like nice, fashionable, affordable clothes in Nairobi. So I was also looking down that route. Like I literally had 10 business ideas at the same time. And I would do this during my lunch breaks at work. So like I was like obsessed. Like if I remember it today, that must have been 2016. Yeah, 2016. But like I was like obsessed with trying to find something that I was like passionate about. So I didn't even know if it was optometry still, because I was just getting so sucked into the monotony that I wasn't sure that was for me anymore. And like I literally remember like being in the car driving to work thinking I could just open a shop here on the road anywhere, like because location was a big issue. Considering like, you know, there's like 2 big chains in Nairobi, and then they kind of have the space even before the building is done. So it was really difficult to find a location that would actually work. So that was a challenge for some time, and I was like literally going everywhere to see spaces. And then I came across Roslyn. And I mean, it had big promises for like a huge mall, but I did like the space, the way the space was. I did like it. And it was very like super, super, super risky, because you can imagine this is only like 1.5 years, 2 years, or okay, say if you take the experience from the UK, maybe 3 years into working. And I wanted to set up something. So like obviously cash flow, all that stuff is really tight. You're asking your friends and family to help. So I was really taking a risk, but I sometimes feel like in your 20s, you're really willing to do that. Somehow you just don't care.
I think it's so necessary to take the risks anyway, because you just never know. You don't want to have a woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah, exactly. So like I literally remember looking at the space in front of me and thinking, okay, this is the rent. I mean, can I make like 20 a day? I might be okay. Like, So it was just like, if I can get the bare minimum done, then as in we'll be breaking even. Okay, so it'll be okay.
Yeah.
So it was super risky. But yeah, I was excited. So
What
it started.
I was gonna say, what I love about, okay, so Rosalind Rivera has got that, it's got that, it's got a look and a feel that you can't find in a lot of malls, which is the truth, and which is, sometimes you're just like, oh, I just wish you could just, but you picked like the right location though, like where you're positioned at Rosalind Rivera is, no matter what happens and how you did your fit out and the idea behind it and the funkiness of it, you really made it look like it's not like your regular GI Joe walking into a glasses shop. You're like, what is this? So you did a great job with that. I like, anyway, I loved it.
I think you're right about the location as well, because you still, it doesn't feel like you're like inside a mall, because there's that outdoor space, so you get the natural sunlight and all of that as well, which obviously makes a huge difference. Like the interior of that was a whole other story, because I got like an interior designer who was like recommended by friends and family to try and help me, and she was like, I guess, I don't know if this was a factor, but she was a lot older to me, and she was just not getting what I wanted, and it was frustrating me, because at some point you kind of feel like you're second guessing yourself, especially at that age, and you like, like I
know better.
So I literally had to let go of her and do it myself.
Oh, so you did it all by yourself? So nobody, you were just like, listen, I'm going to call people up.
I hired her, and then when she shared her drawings and stuff, she wanted to do stuff that was like not our idea of how the place was supposed to look at the end of it was just not aligning at all. So I was like, you know what, it's okay. So I literally decided to do it myself. And I used in that way, I used these programs online where you can kind of put in how you want it to come out and then see how it's going to look. That was really helpful, because I wanted to paint a whole wall teal. And then when I put it in the program, I was like, oh my God, that looks horrendous. So then I just decided to put pockets of teal and wallpaper, but leave the walls white with a lot of woodwork. So it kind of came together.
No, it's beautiful. And then, so when did you open your second location, the one in Lavington?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the Lavington one right now. We opened last year.
Okay.
So that was, thank you. I mean, I'll be honest, that was never in the cards for us. Like I was kind of happy like having the one branch, and I knew we offer some sort of exclusivity. So I was like, it's not like you're buying groceries, even if it's far, if it's for glasses and it's every year, every 2 years, people are going to make the trip, right? But then this kind of, I was shopping in Zucchini, and I looked across and there was a sign that said, like up for rent. And then I kind of went from there. And it's been such a good decision, because I live a lot closer to Lavington. So now I get to work so quickly. I'm just like, whoa. I guess I go to Roslyn like every so often, but not as much as the Lavington branch, because it's closer to me.
Okay. But I'm sure the people at Roslyn obviously miss you, because, I think you need to spread the love. Like, it's like a children's thing, like spread some love here, spread some love here.
As soon as I enter Roslyn, I feel like I'm home. Like,
right?
It just feels like, because obviously I remember the days when I opened and we needed to stay open till 7 p.m. 7 days a week. I actually at some point started getting sick, because I was like the only person or the only optometrist working 7 days a week till 7 p.m. But it reminds me of those days, which is just like so nice to be like, for a lot of people, sometimes business doesn't go as you want it to go, but I'm lucky enough for it to have grown. So to go back to kind of like the time when you put everything in, it's nice to also remember and be like grateful.
Yeah. So before we jump into Sunshot, can you just tell me like some of the brands that that you love that you stock at Urban tortoise that you think that people would appreciate? Because I like how you thought about the fact that a store should look more bespoke, more boutique, more fashionable, to carry those elements. So,
Yeah.
what are some of the brands that you carry that you think that people should look into? Because, like for me, I've had to get readers. I have a lot of reading glasses,
Yeah.
and my reading glasses are like they've become like a pair of shoes for me.
Yeah.
So it's like what are you wearing, what color readers are you going to get, try and funk things up a little bit, so that you don't
Yeah.
have the same old.
So
So what are some of the brands?
on the readers point, we have this brand called Peepers, which
Mhm.
is from the States, and it's actually always listed as Oprah's favorite. You know how Oprah has Oprah's favorite things?
Yes,
It's
and I
always
think I
listed as
follow
that.
Papers.
Yes. So we so we have Peepers, which are great, and then the other brand that I absolutely love, like if I was to look at my own glasses collection, the one I have the most of, it's a brand called Woody's, and
Okay.
it is from Barcelona.
Okay.
I absolutely love their designs. They're just so fun and colorful, and they have like a nice variety of styles, and they're really like bold. But they also have like really nice subtle colors as well and subtle styles. So I like that it has something for everyone. So I would say, yeah, those. And we also we have for the last 2 years been kind of like designing our own collection that comes in, and the collection is called Kudu, and
Okay.
I think this is the second year we've had it, and it does so well. It does really well because it's really fun, and basically the idea behind Urban Tours is we only bring in one of each thing, so there'll
So
never be
once you have it, nobody else has it.
yeah, and we'll try not to order it again unless you had it and then you really loved it and something happened to it and you want us to like reorder it for you. For our stock we have like one piece of each thing in style and in color.
I love it. Okay, so here's the thing is that you make this so special for me because like the way you think about glasses and the way you think about fashion is exactly how I feel. I feel like hats. I'm a hatter. I love my reading glasses nowadays. So I remember I used to be so ashamed to wear my reading glasses, but nowadays I'm like chucking them. I'm like, yeah, check out my new color. And now I need to check out your Peepers and Kudu and because Kudu is yours, right?
Yeah, so like as in we have like the colors are just incredible. Like I was literally just looking at someone who picked up like a yellow cat eye. It's gorgeous. It looks so good.
Okay, yeah. So I'm coming that way, so I'm gonna pass by anyway. So definitely gonna come and check them out. But I applaud you for doing that. And so are you manufacturing kudu here?
No, so you see the thing about manufacturing locally
Because we're gonna go into our
yeah, should I start talking about that? Not yet.
No, start with kudu and then we're gonna venture into your
No, Kudu is just chosen designs. Like as in
okay.
we've hand curated this collection of like from all different sources to put it together to fit what we think is like the best collection ever. So it's not manufactured here. We have limitations with that as we'll go into. But it is like it's us picking what we want for our customers because now 7 years in, we know what our customers want.
Yeah. And that's super important is understanding your target market and who you're speaking to. And
like sometimes I'll take a frame and I'll be like, I'm buying this for this person because I know they're gonna love it. And then they love it. And I'm just wow.
I love it. You remind me of and a big shout out to Deepa Dosaja because Deepa would do these beautiful things like on Saturdays. She'd have wine and cheese and you go to her store shopping, right? And by the time you walk out, you have a budget of spending this amount of money. But by the time she's done with you, she knows your colors. So by the time you walk in, she's like, darling, I've got something special for you, and she's like dropping it in your face, and you're like, oh my God, I love this. Okay, yeah, fine, I'm walking out with it. So I love that. I love that it's very personal and it's passion. I can, I see the passion in how you're talking about all these brands and handpicking and thinking about people. That makes it even more special for me because I'm like,
it's like I'm shopping all the time.
I love it. Girl's favorite thing.
I know, right?
So let's talk about these beautiful glasses that you've made. Okay, so first of all, let me talk about the beautiful packaging. I don't know if guys are going to be able to see this. Which way am I going? There.
Yeah.
Sunshot. And then look at that. That's so gorgeous. And I have these beautiful glasses. I picked Pendo. They're just super dope. They're just done so well. And can I talk about the lenses? Because I have glasses, but these ones are super special. It's something about like the clarity with the lenses, the lightness with the frames. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. Can you talk to me about Sunshot and how you started this? And like, I'm just gonna dig back on this.
Okay. So I cannot take any credit for the start of Sunshot. It was literally my husband nagging me for very, very many years. So
I
basically,
love it.
the way when Urban Tourist started was 2017. Around that same time, my husband was like, I want us to try and make eyewear locally. And I'm like, that's a great idea, but I'm just trying to focus on, getting this business to work right now. So he did a lot of research, and he actually worked with like a 3D printing people that he found around in Nairobi. I'm not sure exactly who, but they did like a prototype for glasses. And although it was cool, the prototype was not something that I think many people would wear because it was very brittle. It kind of felt like those toy glasses a little bit because even the hinges were kind of like 3D printed. So it wasn't a product that we thought that could work. So it was kind of like back to the drawing board, well, for him. And then he did a lot of research and found places that you can get molds made, like a mold that will now make eyewear. It's called injection molding. So you kind of you put heated plastic through a mold, and then it takes the shape of the mold, and then that's how it comes out. But now that mold itself is like a super heavy super heavy metal thing, and it costs a lot, just getting that mold made. So we found people in Spain who make these molds, and they kind of made the molds how we wanted them to make, and then put like the engravings we wanted. So by this time we had to like think of a name and everything. And then so now it kind of jumped because getting to the point of even deciding to order the mold took a lot because it was a big investment financially, and I was still very focused on Urban Tourist and making it grow and just having it stable. So as he was doing research about this, one night we were watching some motivational video, and it was something along the lines, I can't remember who or what, but it was something along the lines of, what are you doing that's different? What are you doing that's changing the industry that you're in, or just making things in a better way, in a more sustainable way, That's when I was like, oh my God, okay, we have to do this. He's just like, what? Like, if I knew I just took this guy to tell you that, I could have go. But then I think it was a combination of stuff, like Urban Tourist was settling on its own, stuff like that. So I was kind of like, now I had more headspace to think about something else. I was like, okay, we can think about this as a project because we don't know if it's going to work. The mold can come here and we might not get anything out of it. You don't know how the manufacturing process is going to go. Is it something that anyone's going to like? You have no idea. So we think of this as like a project, and the money we put towards it, we have to be okay with kind of like letting go if it doesn't work. So that's kind of how we kind of went into it, and then we got the mold in. And
Can I share the video, because I think that once people see what the mold looks like and the process, well, it doesn't show like the full in process, but is it okay that I could share that right now? All right, fantastic. So what we're taking a look at is just basically like how the mold goes into the thingy-majiggy. Into the thingy-majiggy, and then yeah. Anyway, take a look at it. I think it's fantastic. And then we're going to get into all the beautiful things that we have lined up for you. Hold on one second. I love it when dreams come alive. Oh my gosh. Just watching that, for me, just these are the reasons why I started Into the Core. I always remind my people is to watch somebody really transition from one space to another, and be it with your partner or with your friend, whoever is encouraging you to get into that space, now being your husband, is like, no, we got to do something, and it has to be made in Kenya. My gosh, just watching that for me it's like a oh my God, I'm so proud of you. So tell me, so now you've researched, you've brought it into the country. What was that like? Oh my gosh, because people just think that when we're wearing these, that, oh yeah, they got it here, and it's, what was that? What was that like?
There was a lot of like scary moments where my heart was in my mouth, where like the mold was to be delivered somewhere, and then the person like, I haven't got it, or they've asked you to pay like triple the amount you thought you're supposed to pay for it. So there was a lot of that, and I literally wouldn't sleep. Like, I would be so like stressed about it. And my husband, whose idea this was in the first place, trying to sleep, like nothing could like. So like there was, I think I take things like as an, I'm trying to learn to just know that things will go wrong, and I just need to take them in a calm manner. But I was freaking out at some point. But yeah, then it finally got here, which was really excited. But then we had no idea what to do with it, because like it's here, right?
Yeah. So you're like, how do we start now?
I mean, I don't know anything about manufacturing. I don't know anything about injection molding. We're gonna learn. So the people who really, really, really helped us was a part of ISK school called Plastiki Rafiki.
Okay.
And they make like all eco-friendly stuff, sustainable things out of plastic. So they were like, I can't even count how many times I went to ISK school to try and like get this to work. I even remember like heavily pregnant, carrying the mold, which was like way a ton, on my way to like ISK to just, try and get it done before I had my second born. So they were just like incredible. They were so good, and they really helped us understand how we can make it work. So there were times where we did everything right. We put the plastic, we turned it, everything, nothing went in the mold. And we're just like, wow, okay, now what do we do? So like, and the thing about the mold is I don't know if you saw how I was opening it, yeah, with the screws.
Yes, yeah.
So you don't know until you open it.
So you don't know if it's taken?
Because okay, basically the plastic goes in the machine, yeah? And then the machine has like the old like heating unit, and then you turn it, and then you put the mold right onto the nozzle of the machine. Yes. So that the plastic goes through, right? Yeah. And then you take it off and you open it. But sometimes the plastic can just show at the top of the nozzle, but you don't know if it's actually, obviously this was when we were
Yes.
figure it out. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
don't know if it's actually inside. So you're like, you guys, I think it's this one. I think it's this one. If the moment you tender, you're like psyching, everyone's psyching themselves up. Yeah, it's gonna be this one. And then you open it and there's nothing inside, and you're like, oh my god! Like I have the video of the one that we opened, the first one that got full, and we were just like all celebrating, like God knows what had happened.
That's the one I want. I want to get that video. I want to share that video.
But yeah, it was really exciting. Like I think it's something like I haven't like experienced before because I haven't really manufactured anything. But it was really exciting to be like, oh no, I think the temperature is off on this. Like I would find myself like going to bed thinking, no, this time the temperature was a bit different. You know, maybe if we do it this way, because you can't make it too hot because then it'll bend the plastic. So it has to be the right balance. And then the machine was made here, like by the Plastiki Rafiki people locally.
Wow.
So even the machine, yeah. So the machine is obviously different to the machine that they might have tested the mold in Spain with. So, you know, just like figuring all of that out. And then when we finally got to making a full pair at the Plastiki Rafiki workshop at ISK, then we moved to our garage basically, and that's where we continue to prototype, and because you have to make sure you get it, you know, in all the settings, and you know exactly what you need to get it right.
Oh my, it gives me a different, like I have a different appreciation for this, sorry. Like just hearing this and knowing how much it has taken and how many hands it has passed through and how many minds have come together to create this beautiful brand made in Kenya with collaborators, you know, with Plastiki Rafiki coming in and the guys in Spain and, oh gosh.
And that gives us the plastic pellets. So yeah, there's
that also. And so this just makes it so much easier because there's a whole upcycle of plastic. So is there a way, okay, so I don't know, and you can just advise me on this. I'm like, I don't know. But in terms of plastic that you use, is there a type of plastic? Should people be able to donate plastics? Can people take plastic somewhere? I mean, like what kind of plastic?
Yeah, so this is the other thing that we had to learn.
Okay.
It's a specific plastic, PPE. It's called PPE. There's a long name for it. But basically, what Mr. Green does is they take plastic from everywhere and then they make the PPE pellets, and the pellets is what's needed for the machine to get like a smooth product. But literally, you know, there was like, if you saw in the video, there was like the tropical heat tops.
Let me see that.
You know like what you have, you get your spices and there's the tops, right?
Yes, yeah.
So those ones are like stuff that Mr. Green would collect to now make these pellets.
Okay.
So it's still like, but like part of the idea is maybe to at some point when we have workshops to like collect with plastic, so that we're also helping take it back to kind of
take it back into yes. So we're putting it back into society. So there's an amazing guy who I think you guys need to collaborate with.
Okay.
See, now it has just come into my head. So his name is Jamie, and he is from Pentatonic. And I'll send you that information later on. So I interviewed him in 2021, and he's based in the UK, which is really great because even when you're down in the UK, you can go and check them out. So Pharrell Williams was creating these jeans that were made out of plastic, and they were turning them into thread, so that you could weave it into jeans. Anyway, so I ended up seeing that, and then during COVID, they were making these spoons, recyclable spoons. So they look like they come in a case. Maybe I'm trying to look at something. Maybe half of this. So just half of that, and it's got your fork, your knife, your spoon, so that when you're eating out, you're not using cutlery from anywhere else. And then when you put it back in, it has a self-clean.
Wow.
So dope. So he's just like you, because I was just like, it's the same way I bumped into your page and I was like, I want to interview her. I love this and I love what she's doing. And so that's what it was. And I just feel like, because you and I believe in collaboration, so I feel like you guys could do something really,
Yeah.
really great with more eyeglasses, and more based on plastics and what are they called? Plastic
Like
Rafiki?
plastic,
Plastiki.
plastic.
Plastiki Rafiki would be able to do. So I see a big collaboration, and I see just very many hands at work. So anyway, something for you to check out
Yeah,
at some
I've
point.
written it down, so I'll have a look, and
Yeah.
we can do that.
So tell me about the collection. So now that you finally figured out the right temperatures, and you got the molds to work, and so tell me about the colors, because I picked Pendo,
Yeah, so there is
which
a
makes
mix
me feel very
of,
girl.
so so the colors part was like where the fun literally really began, because it's like
Yeah.
it's so exciting to mix colors and just see what you get, because you again
Yeah.
until you open it you have no idea. So we haven't even tried half of them. Like we've literally we tried. I had like ideas of what I wanted the colors to be. So there's like this one which is Tamu.
I love Tamu.
Yeah,
That's like
and
Lamu Tamu. So if you're thinking of Lamu, that's the one you
yeah,
should go with.
exactly. This is the one you have on Pendo, right?
This is Pendo.
So basically, we got the PPE. There's only a certain number of colors that are available, the primary colors, right? So there's, I think, red, green, blue, and black, and white. So we just tried to, we didn't want to do too much. We thought, let's do like 5 different ones to be, appealing to both men and women. And then we can introduce a new color as we go on every so often. So I'm still really excited to try out other colors, because there's so many I have in mind, and I just haven't tried them out yet. But these are the ones that we initially worked on, and we picked our favorites. So there's this is, like we said, this is Pendu, then there's Tamu, and there's Mara. Mara is red and black, so it's kind of like the red soil kind of brown. And then there's Kati Kati, which is just black and white. So it looks like in some parts it's gray, because how the way it intertwines, it's really beautiful how it comes together like a marble effect. And then there's Nyota, which is the one which took so long to find a name, but it's black, white, and blue. So it's like to have a bit of color. If you don't want something too colorful, but you want a bit of color, then it's a good one.
This
1, 2. And then Pendo, we can do, so for all of them we can do kind of different colored lenses if they want, which is why we've also done it in collaboration with Urban Tourist, because if people want to do prescription, they can do it through Urban Tourist, and then if they want just clear lenses and their prescription, they can also do it, because it's the frame, and then we'll put whatever lenses they'd like.
Oh, I love it. I think that you guys, and so you guys are the first to actually manufacture here, and what is so great is that it's sustainable. It's upcycled.
So I think there's there's no other eyewear that has been fully manufactured in Nairobi. Like, it's such a difficult task actually to do. Like, even with us, the limitation is the shape, right? We try to pick a shape that can work for as many people as possible. But because like the mold's so pricey, it would make sense if we would get another one, it would have to be like after a while, So it's like I said, it's difficult to make them locally, but that was the whole the drive.
That was the idea of it, yeah. And congratulations on that, because I know, and kudos to all the other guys who have their Kenyan-owned brands, but to have this one as the first actually manufactured here in Kenya is just, it's so stellar. And what is so great is that you can actually do this. You can bring the machine on site if I have an event.
Yes, that's what actually, I don't know if we're going to be at BizBaz on the 27th and 28th of July, and we're going to take the machine there and the molds and everything.
Yes.
So people will be able to see exactly how it happens. And then we're also holding workshops for people to make their own sunnies.
I love this. And you're also part of my roundtable talk, which is going to be on Monday, July 22nd at Nairobi Street Kitchen. And I feel like the conversations that we're going to be having are just going to be based around this beautiful industry of ours, and how to do business, and how to engage with the right business partners, and how to collaborate, and how to, this is a time where if you've dreamt about it and you've thought about it, you need to come in. It's free. We just need you to RSVP, and we'll be posting information on that later on, actually tomorrow. But it's just a heads up. And you are coming with your molding machine. We're going to make a couple of sunnies. We have to. I'm like, we got to do it. We got to. I'm like, see. We got to do something. But I'm so excited for you, and congratulations on following your passion and making it happen. This is exactly what it's about.
Yeah, it's been exciting. I think because it's been in my head for so long. When it was coming out to the world, it was just kind of like, oh my god. But no, it's really exciting, and I'm excited for like, the next steps and the collaborations and the workshops. And when if someone makes their sunglasses themselves, how much more attached are they going to be? Like, how much more proud would they be to wear them?
That's me. I'll be like in these all day, every day. I want to give a shout out to Waridi, who is, I'm not sure if she got back to Germany. Yes, she probably did. But Waridi is a very huge person in the fashion industry. She works with the Vogues and all that great stuff. Waridi, this is a brand that you need to get into. So when you're back in Kenya, please come and source and take a whole bunch of them back to Berlin, and needs to be featured in your weekly. So I will put you in touch, Arifa, with Waridi. She's absolutely fantastic. She's like on the need to know. She's like, she's sending a message to you saying, congratulations, so proud of you. Yes, I'm in Berlin. So that's from Waridi. So is there anything else that we should know about these beautiful sunnies? Because I'm rocking them all day. My mom wants a pair. I'm like, oh. I wish you can hear me. But
I think we've gone through the whole journey nicely, and it's been so lovely to be on here and chatting to you. And I'm so glad to see like people are excited. It's just sometimes you have an idea and you don't know if people are going to be excited about it, but I'm really excited that people are excited about it.
No, I'm super excited for you. I'm so excited about what the future looks for you. I'm glad that I got you here. I've seen that Sharon, This Is Us, has been part of that journey with you, especially with these and being like brand ambassador for you. I hope to work with you in the future. And I'm super proud. This is like a very proud Kenyan moment where I'm just like, yes, we're winning. And I hope that you're featured, and I hope that so many people get to experience and wear your brands. I'm coming in for Kudu. Yeah, I'm coming in for Kudu. I want to see what you would select for me. Yeah, and we're gonna feature that actually. We'll talk about that on the side. Anyway, so for everybody who is listening, I want to encourage you guys, head over to Urban Tortoise, either at Roslyn Riviera Mall in Roslyn, or you could go to the Lavington Mall, and you'll find Urban Tortoise there, and you will be able to, if you are in Lavington, because Arifa is now near home, you could get to meet her, you could get to speak to her, she could get to understand who you are, your personality, and you get to experience her as your personal optometrist. And this is what is so lovely about you. I really appreciate you. I want to end the conversation with let them know where they can catch you. Your IG tag is?
So it's Sunshot_factory. And then they're also available on the website, sunshotfactory.com. And for Urban Tortoise, Instagram is the Urban Tortoise.
All right. So if you're linking in much later on, make sure you check them out. Sunshot_factory. That's on IG. You could check them out online, sunshotfactory.com. And just making sure that you guys have a little bit of a spiel. I'm going to end with this lovely video. But thank you so much, Arifa. I really, really, really appreciate you. And I can't wait to see you again. And it's great to reconnect years later. But this is the perfect time.
Thank you.
That was just perfect. I have a better understanding for that video, especially just knowing the back end of getting that mold right. Super, super excited. Thank you so much for being here. I'm very humbled and wishing you the best, Arifa. And I can't wait to see you on the 22nd.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bye.